Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Linda and I create content around faith, family, and lifestyle. And so if you are new here, please subscribe and I believe you'll enjoy this side of the YouTube. All right, y'all. So as you guys can see, and I gotta remember to look at the lens. As you guys can see from today's title, we will be recapping my first trimester. I am officially in my second trimester. I am officially 20 weeks by the grace of God. We have made it to the second trimester and I am excited. I am ready for our fifth bundle of joy, and you'll know why I say fifth a little later on into the video. But let's go ahead and get into it so we don't make this video too long, okay? So for those that do not know me, my husband and I, we have 3 living children. We have Abigail, Olivia, and Andrea. But our first child, I had her at 21. And so if you could imagine pregnancy at 21 versus pregnancy at 32, is not the same. It is not the same. I was young, I was vigor, I had strength, I had all the things. I had stamina. This time around, I'm still all of those things, but it's not as high as it used to be at 21. So pregnancy at 21 is very different. And then I had our second child at 26. And then we had our third child at 27. Here I am now at 32, and pregnancy is really different, you guys. It's really different. Pregnancy is beautiful, but it's not the same. Like, your body just doesn't move the way that it used to, and the way that you maybe could have gotten up at 21 while pregnant, you can't really do that at 32. And so we're going to talk a little bit about my cravings, my symptoms, my mental state, my mental health in the first trimester, the first couple months, the first couple weeks. I won't break it down week by week because I honestly don't remember week by week, but I'll try to give you guys as much as I could. Okay, so before we found out we were pregnant, we had a miscarriage 8 months prior. I took the pregnancy test because I was having all the pregnancy symptoms. You know, my breasts were sore, my menstrual was late, my period was late. What else was I experiencing? I was very fatigued, and I was like, you know what, let me take a pregnancy test. And I kind of did not want to be honest, because it wasn't the first time that I had a missed period, and so I did not want to deal with the disappointment of seeing another negative on the pregnancy test, although we weren't trying. But you know, like, we're married, so obviously we're not trying either. And so it's like, if it came, it came, and if it didn't, then it's just not God time yet. But I took the pregnancy test, and it came out positive. And I was so shocked I didn't even have time to think of like doing a whole surprise for my husband. Like, he instructed me, he wanted me to, for our next pregnancy. I just called him immediately into the bathroom and I showed him the pregnancy test. And when I found out I was pregnant, I thought I was maybe 8 weeks, but when I actually went to the ultrasound, they told me I think I was like 6 weeks or something like that. No, I thought I was 10 weeks, and they ended up telling me that I was about 8 weeks. So that's how I found out I was pregnant. It was nothing crazy or nothing big. But when I found out I was pregnant, a few days later, I think, I started having a lot of anxiety. I started having a lot of fear because, like I told you guys, we had a miscarriage 8 months prior. And so when I didn't feel pregnancy symptoms, my mind immediately went to, oh my gosh, did I lose the baby again, or am I having a miscarriage again? And so it took a lot of vulnerability with my husband to express to him when I was having those moments, so that he could reassure me that, like, we're gonna be okay this time around. This time around, we're not losing the baby. This time around, like, you're not losing the baby. We're going to be okay. And so at the beginning of the pregnancy, I did deal with a lot of fear. I dealt with a lot of anxiety. So those that had a miscarriage, or parents that had a miscarriage, you know that feeling in between, like the waiting period of finding out if everything is okay, and then, or finding out that you're pregnant and then finding out that everything is okay and going okay. So I remember in between that waiting period, I took 2 extra pregnancy tests. I took a pregnancy test 2 weeks after finding out, and then I took a pregnancy test the day that we were going to go to the appointment. The day we were going to the appointment, that morning, I took a pregnancy test because I felt like, one, I don't want to be embarrassed and there's nothing really there, or I lost the baby, and I just want to make sure that I'm really pregnant for real, for real. And so you know, obviously both pregnancy tests still came out positive and I was still pregnant. But that first few weeks, I would say that first month of me finding out, maybe even month and a half, I definitely dealt with a lot of fear, a lot of anxiety. Although I was excited, a part of me was kind of I don't know, it felt like, could I lose it, or am I going to lose this again? And so it was really hard for me at the beginning to bond with the baby, because I didn't want to get too close, or I didn't want to get too attached emotionally like I did with the miscarriage. And then it felt like it got snatched away from me. It felt like the baby got snatched away from me. And so that's where I was mentally for the first couple of weeks. But shouts out to the baby's godmother and my husband. They really held me down. They really held me down emotionally those first few weeks, or that first couple months. They really helped me and really prayed for me. And so now we're on the other side, and as you can see, I am 100% certain that all will be well in the name of Jesus. Let's go ahead and get into the cravings that I had this pregnancy. So I really didn't have much cravings. I didn't have any weird pregnancy cravings, I should say. But most of my cravings were mainly spicy stuff, spicy food, and really, really cold water. Like, I could not drink my water if it was not cold, because I felt like it would make me like feeling like I'm going to vomit basically. And so my water had to be really, really cold. That was one of the cravings that I had. And I even used to carry like hot sauce with me, because I had to put hot sauce on everything. I'm telling you guys, my cravings were spicy food. It did not matter what it was, I had to have hot sauce on it. And this time around, I realized that well, for the first few weeks, I was kind of craving unhealthy things like Popeyes, what else? Wings and things like that. But I think when I started to realize, like, or when I made the decision, and maybe this is like a tip for pregnant moms, I don't know, I used to feel like I don't have control over the cravings, but now I feel like I have control over the cravings. Like, even if I, you know, like if I see something on the TV, if I see something good on the TV, or I'm scrolling and I see a meal and I know it's not healthy for me, I know it's not healthy for the baby, I'll be like, Linda, no. We're not doing it. We're not eating it. We're not eating it. We're not having it. You're not calling your husband. You're not telling him that you want it. We're not doing it. And so I have a little bit of control over the cravings recently, I realized. And so I was craving greasy and unhealthy things at the beginning. But when I realized, like, Linda, this pregnancy, I don't want to be eating so unhealthy. I don't want to put on so much weight. Not that I won't be eating, but I won't be eating so much unhealthy food. And so I did make that decision a little early on in the pregnancy, maybe like month 3, I think it was. Because when I went to that second pregnancy, when I went to that second prenatal appointment, and I saw that in a month, I gained 7 pounds. I was like, oh no, baby, we're not doing this. We're not doing this. No, we're not doing this. And I'm like, with my second pregnancy, I gained like over 50 pounds. And I feel like I still have that weight on me. Like, it's so hard to come off. And I haven't really been, you know, pushing for it to come off. But I was like, yeah, no, Linda, we're not getting another 50 pounds. Like, we're going to be intentional and mindful with the things that we put in our body, and we're not gonna just consume greasy and unhealthy things this pregnancy. And so I made that decision, and recently I realized like my cravings have been more like fruit, Chick-fil-A salad, and like healthier homemade meals. So that's a good thing. Oh, and I realized too, in the first trimester, I had like, and this was the first time that I experienced it, I think. The first trimester, I had like this copper taste in my mouth. No matter what I ate, like the taste was just there. It felt like I was chewing on metal that whole day. The taste was just there. I brushed my teeth, I brushed my tongue, and it did not go away. So I had like this copper taste in my mouth, and now that's gone, now that I'm in the second trimester. I should have told you guys my symptoms before I told you guys my cravings, but it's okay. But anyways, some of the symptoms that I had in the first trimester was, of course, fatigue. I had extreme fatigue. Like, I feel like it wasn't even normal. I had extreme fatigue. You know how like sometimes you can be tired and maybe like you can kind of get up, move around a little bit, and then the fatigue will go away? Child, no. I had extreme fatigue. No matter what I did, the fatigue was there, and I had to sleep. I had to sleep. I took a lot of naps. I maybe took like 3 naps a day, 2-3 naps a day. I took a lot of naps. And then of course we already talked about the fear and anxiety that I had at the beginning. I'm sure you guys will see that video where I talked about it a little bit, because I did record the video when we went to our first ultrasound, because the emotions were a little bit more raw. I wasn't sure if I was going to put it out, but the Lord released me and I can put it out. So you guys will see that and a little bit more raw when the time comes. I feel like this time around, I'm smooth selling. I feel like I'm smooth selling the second trimester so far, although it's only 20 weeks. And I think that's like a few weeks into the second trimester. I'm smooth selling. You know, my kids are a lot older now. Our oldest, she is 11, and then we have a 6-year-old, and then we have a 5-year-old. So I have a lot of help. Like if I need to get something, but I can't get up, or I'm not really feeling good that day, like our oldest can just pop something in the microwave for them. And so I have a lot of help, and shout out to my husband that has been helping me a lot. I've been still feeling fatigue where I can't cook as much as I used to. So my husband has been doing much of the cooking, and I appreciate him so much for that. Yeah, and so that's why I said like our 5th baby, because I still count the miscarriage as our baby, because I still feel emotionally attached to the baby that we lost. I believe, and I call myself a mother of 5. I just have 3 that are living and 1 that is in heaven, and then 1 that's about to be born by the grace of God. And so yeah, so that's it for my first recap, or my first trimester recap. I will be back to give you guys a second trimester recap, but I do want to give you guys a bump update so that you can see what the stomach looks like, what the belly looks like at 20 weeks. So let's do a bump update. You guys can see it. This is what it looks like. I actually thought it would be bigger, but it's not. Bump from the front. It's growing. We have something coming there. All right, you guys, so that is my bump at 20 weeks. We're getting somewhere. We're getting somewhere. I feel like because of my body shape, depending on what I'm wearing, I can still kind of finesse it a little bit where it just looks like I'm gaining weight, and it doesn't really look like, oh, she's pregnant. Like if I wear like oversized t-shirts, you can't really see the bump, especially from the front or early in the morning before I eat. You can't really see it. And then when I wear tight dresses like this, it's definitely poking out. And so we are almost there, you guys. We are almost there, and I am excited to meet our new bundle of joy. I'm excited for the addition of our family, and so I hope you all enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, comment. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you guys on the next video.